Hi, LinkTree fam. So on Rosie's birthday, we told you that we were going to take a trip, and we have. And today we're going to give you the juicy details. So let's start back when we still lived in Texas. How about that? And we decided that we were going to try something new. Texas wasn't for us, and it was so hot there like ever.
And I'm to blame about that. There's no way I could have spent another month there. I loved everything else about living down there, but the heat just got to me. It was just not...
Well, you were stuck inside for like months.
Yeah.
Which I know you...
And I didn't need to be stuck inside, but the heat was just... It was overwhelming for me. Yeah. Being a northern brought up guy, but
I was gonna say you can deal with the cold way better than you can the heat, and we weren't used to that. So we had to choose: were we gonna come to go back home to Omaha, or were we gonna try something else? And we decided that after we talked about it for months, we decided that we were gonna try something new, and we just wanted to see something else, and we just weren't done yet with exploring and traveling and having an adventure. So we ended up going to Tennessee, and we knew we were going to look in between Knoxville and Asheville, which is what we did. And then we found the property in Bryson City and
North Carolina.
Yep, North Carolina.
Yep.
So it was on the North Carolina side, yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot more mountains there, and so we just fell in love with the mountains and our view off the top of our mountain. And then we found the cabin, which was attached to our property. And we got to stay in that because it originally had been an Airbnb, and so we just rented it monthly. Mm-hmm.
And before that, we had the cabin, actually it was more of a garage that could have very easily been converted to a cabin.
Yeah.
And those videos are out there as well if you haven't seen them. But we had trouble with that, how steep it was. Yeah. The grade on our driveway was just ridiculously steep, and it sat on a spot that I just didn't even feel like there was enough room to do much. So
that one I felt like was so remote. It felt like it was remote. Yeah. And the one that we have now does not feel that way. Yeah. And so, so I do feel like the one we have now feels much better. Yeah. So we moved into the cabin, and we just kept feeling like something was missing. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter. It was every single day, and we'd talk about it every single day. It would keep coming back up. And we talked about all the amazing things that we had there. And
the weather.
Oh gosh, the weather was awesome. Amazing. Exactly anyway. What both of us would want. I feel like it was such a good compromise for both of us. Yep. The beauty that surrounds you there is breathtaking, and I felt it every day. I'd wake up every day and I'd look out in those mountains, and it was just, I was in awe every day of just how gorgeous it was. And then this, the sun on the mountains and the clouds in the mountains and the sunsets and oh gosh.
Yeah, you could find something incredible about even a rainy day. Yeah. Just because you're looking down in that valley with the mountains surrounding you, but there was still something missing. Yes. And I think it would be different if it was just Raya and I.
I agree. Yeah.
But with the kids, in the back of our minds, we're always thinking, what does this look like transitioning them from children, and into adulthood and work and college and everything else that goes with growing up and growing out. Yep. And it just didn't sit well. It didn't take very long to figure that out. We were pretty isolated up on the mountain, even though it only took 15 minutes to get to Bryson City. Once you're in Bryson City, even though it's a beautiful little town, there wasn't much commerce that goes on other than tourism. Yeah. And we just could not visualize seeing these kids get older and need work and have the opportunities that they should have.
Yep. So we'd wake up every day and we'd be like, okay, what does this look like going forward? Like, where are we going to find friends at? Like, where are the kids going to work at? Because we have a couple of them that are able to work. They're old enough.
And they're itching to get out.
And they want to. We're like, okay, you know, even like going to the gym or doing, you know, it's like, okay, well, what does this look like? And we just kept talking about it. And we're like, man, there really isn't a whole lot around here. So, you know, then you have these options. We talked about, okay, well, we could go to a city and where there is that stuff. And then what kind of a city do we go to? Do we go to Asheville? Because Asheville's not very far. And they have all that stuff there. You know, do we go back home and, you know, just say we've been on an adventure and then just go back to what we know? Or, you know, so there were all these things that we talked about.
Yeah, and we miss family. And I think
the kids
did too. So moving back at that point after being in Texas at first year, and then the North Carolina, you know, and we did ended up buying property in North Carolina.
Yep, and we have that
top of the mountain there, the ridge.
Yep.
But it just made more sense if we were going to make one more move. What would it be? And we wanted to make sure the move was going to last.
Right.
We had a lot of fun.
Yep.
But when it really came down to it, it was about having a place where all of our kids felt was home.
Yep.
No matter how long, you know, we were up there, there were a lot of kids that still felt Omaha was home.
Yep.
So when they get of age and all of a sudden they've got to work, they are going to have, you know, what they know surrounding them business-wise.
Yep.
And Bryson City was very different culture, different professions than we're used to.
Yeah.
It was based around a lot of outdoor stuff there, which is great, but it's seasonal. It's 6 months out of the year. And the work there is very different. Unless you're traveling to go to, let's say even Franklin, you could find work in Franklin as kids.
Yeah.
But Bryson City really didn't have a whole bunch.
Right.
And
Franklin was 45 minutes away.
Even though it was 20 miles away, it was 45 minutes because of the wrapping around the mountains.
The mountains, yeah. And same with Waynesville. Waynesville was 45 minutes away, even though it wasn't that far. So, now to tell you where we ended up, because we did take a trip. And that trip was actually a move.
Yep.
I swear some of you won't be surprised.
Yeah.
So we ended up back home. We are back home in Omaha, and we did buy a house.
Yep. So it's official.
Yep.
We're here.
We're back.
And we feel like we've made the right decision.
Yes, I think so too.
When we go to bed at night, we feel like,
you
know, we made the choice really for our kids, but our kids are our life.
Yep.
And we love being around family.
Yp.
So.
And it like Sean was saying, the work stuff, like everything we know is here. You know, not that you can't go to a new place and adjust, but we just kept feeling like something was missing for all of us. So here we know if we wanted to get, you know, part-time jobs or jobs doing something else, or, you know, that is here. The things that we know and we're familiar with and our backgrounds are in, we know are here, especially in the city for sure.
Right.
You know, the kids, they're all excited. The older kids now can get a job. They're excited about that. I feel a little bit more comfortable here with Emma learning to drive. Mm-hmm. I felt like the mountain roads, even I was nervous driving on some of them because a lot of them are one way going into neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I feel good about that.
Yeah.
The kids' friends, they already have friends here.
And they're getting reacquainted.
Yep.
We've only been here for 2 weeks now.
Yep, right. So, yeah, so they're trying to, you know, make play dates and, you know, hang out and stuff like that with their friends that they had before. Now, we've only actually been 100% gone for a year. So we bought our Texas house 2 years ago, but then we found out about Logan, so we were going back and forth. So it's officially only been 1 year, but we also had doctors in place. So, we're getting those same doctors back that know us and know the kids.
Right.
There's a lot more services here. I feel like some of our kids are going to need services.
Being counseling and daycare for that matter.
We're getting some evaluations done for kids for things that, maybe that have shown up later.
Since we've been gone,
and that we think they're going to need help with. So there's a lot of things I feel like that come into play. There's even some things that we really can't talk about much that come in, that kind of came into play when making a whole big picture decision. And so
So we're back, and we are very close to where we were before.
Yeah.
It wasn't, how many months has it been since we sold that house?
It was May 1st they took the house.
So basically it's been 1 year.
Yeah.
Since we sold our house here in Elkhorn.
Yep.
And we have bought a little bit bigger house, which is nice because we've added Logan since we purchased that last one.
That's right.
And we're probably, I don't know, a half a mile from our other house.
Yeah, we're not too far. Yeah. So it's, we always try to stay within the same school district boundaries. And we did that last time too for the kids. Also, this is where their friends are. So they're still close to all the friends that they had before.
Right.
And yeah, I always feel good about doing that for the kids. And ultimately, like Sean said, we really, if it was just him and I, we may have just stayed, but
yeah, we loved Bryson City. We loved the mountains. We loved the weather.
Yeah.
It did rain a lot more than we thought.
Yeah, it did. It did.
But part of me thinks that was because it was winter, but I have a kind of a feeling because of all the mold and things, fungus
trees.
Growing on the trees, that it's just wet. It's kind of tropical there.
Yeah. Which is why though the winter was nice. I mean, it got cold, and I think the summers would be nice too on the mountains.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get to experience that. We're still hoping that at some point maybe we can build a cabin there and vacation there, or maybe it's a retirement home, or I don't know what that looks like yet. We haven't really fully decided. But
not a retirement home, but
a
place to
go. For us to go.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking into that yet.
So a place for us to go and be, and if we ever are empty nesters, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like our kids are still so young that we have a long time to go.
Yep.
So you will see in our videos now that we'll probably have more family in them. We'll probably be doing more family things. I have a couple videos coming up really soon that I'm just finishing up editing, and that is Christian's birthday and Easter.
Yep.
And then
you'll have to do a house tour. And
yeah. And we're trying to get settled. We're trying to get furniture, and we didn't come with very much furniture. Really, pretty much nothing.
We left some of our stuff on the mountain back in a U-Haul that we had. I'm sure you guys have seen that if you've been watching the videos. But yeah.
So we're trying to get all that. We felt it would just be easier to get things here. So we're doing that and putting everything together now and trying to get stuff on the walls and do all the decorating and
trying to make it feel like we're established here.
Yeah, I will say though, so I was really torn, making this decision. We went back and forth for a while, just because we were both very 50-50 on whether we should stay or whether we should come home. But being back now, I feel so much better.
Just relief almost.
Yeah, and
not that we didn't have fun and enjoy every day that we had.
We loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it's just what I know. This is just what I know. It's the area I know. That mentally, there was hardly a transition for me. I got here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna, I feel really good, I'm gonna put things where they belong, that I know they're gonna stay there now. And it just felt good to me to do that. Plus, also I felt like when we were gone, there was a little bit of lack of motivation on my part to get up and do my hair and makeup. I think it's just because I knew we weren't going to see anybody, and that didn't make me feel very good about myself. So now I get up, I do my hair, do my makeup, and I just feel overall better.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. The only downside that we see so far is the weather is not great here compared to what we've been through.
The weather's been
The wind is just like, there's no reason for the wind. All the kids are mentioning.
Yeah.
Why is it windy? There's not a storm. It's blue sky, or, you know, it is strange. We've lived here all of our life except for the last couple of years.
Yep.
And coming back, it's amazing how windy it is here.
Well, and crappy. Like,
And we were on the top of a mountain and
Yes.
didn't experience the wind like this.
that's what I think is so crazy. The weather there is so amazing. We were outside every day, even
Yeah.
in winter.
Yeah.
And here the kids have been cooped up inside and haven't been able to go out. And ultimately, even though we have terrible weather here, I do feel like this was still the right decision to make. It just really sucks.
Yeah.
And we do have some areas, like
We'll
we have
get
a
used to
covered
it again.
porch, and the kids can go out there still and
Yeah.
you know, feel kind of like they're outside, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will get used to it. But I do ultimately feel like it was the right thing to do still.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, now you know. So all of our videos now will be here in this new house. And yeah, we'll have to do just a little house tour. But if you have any questions, let me know. I do have a Q&A video coming up soon. I didn't forget about it. I still have all your questions saved. So that will be coming out also after after Christian's birthday and our Easter video.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll see you guys next time.
See you later.
Bye.